first heard about Hillsdale from my brother, Eddie, who went here and graduated, I think, in 2012. I wouldn't have actually applied to Hillsdale if it hadn't been for that, because I was only considering Catholic schools. But he recommended it strongly and got me to make a visit. I ended up really liking it. And then it was also the closest school to home I applied to, and I didn't want to be too far from home. And then the academics also attracted me a lot, and the strong Catholic presence on campus.
How did I hear about Hillsdale? I probably have the most boring story of anyone here. I went to my college counselor, not of my own free will. I had a required appointment, and he asked me, is there anything that you would like in the college you're looking for? And I told him, well, are there any conservative colleges? And he mentioned Hillsdale, and so I applied to Hillsdale.
I'm from the thumb of Michigan, about there. It's about 2 hours north of Detroit by Lexington in Sanilac County. It's pretty rural. It's mainly farmland, mainly crop farming, though there's still small dairy farms. I grew up on a small sheep farm where we raised sheep and chickens. I raised goats.
So I was born in Exeter, New Hampshire, at the Exeter Hospital. Exeter used to be the capital of New Hampshire, and it used to be important because it was one of the places where they sent the original copies of the Declaration of Independence. But nowadays, there's just a really snobby private school there that I almost went to for high school, but I didn't want to move away from my parents. So yeah, but then we moved to Indiana to be closer to my grandparents, and that was a good decision. My grandparents are nice, so a lot of good memories there. I wouldn't call myself a really social person, but Michael's great because if I didn't want to interact with him, I didn't have to, and if I wanted to interact with him, he would still interact with me. So that was pretty convenient. And if I had any problems at all, he would help me out with it, no matter what else he was doing. I don't know if I could have done the same thing. So he was a good example for me to have around. Living in a dorm is stressful. You don't have a lot of privacy, but you get a little camaraderie with the person you see every day, and you get to have good conversations about stuff that you couldn't really talk to most people about. So yeah, I really enjoyed our obscure historical discussions.
Max and I used to talk a lot about history, about the Napoleonic War, World War I. We're both of German heritage somewhat, or Austrian heritage. It's kind of hard with the borders moving around so much. But Max actually got a picture of Blessed Karl, the last Habsburg emperor. We had that hanging up in our room, which is pretty cool. We had Blessed Karl watching over us for a semester, or a year and a half, really. I didn't do too much when Max was there, but when he was gone, I would open up the window and put a fan on it, no matter what the weather, because I liked the cold room. He was on the window side where the radiator control is, so I let him do that. I don't know if he knew how to control it. I never told him in hopes that he wouldn't turn it on, but if he did, I never noticed. I just tried to keep it as cold as possible.
I have no complaints about Michael's personality. He's a fantastic guy. Honestly, a role model for me. But we did have some slight disagreements. One of which was over the sort of environment in the room, namely the temperature. And he likes to be cold. He walks around in the middle of winter with cargo shorts and a polo on, and if that's the way he wants to live his life, that's all right. But I tried to honor his preferences. If it was too warm in the room, around like 60 degrees, I'd open the window and turn the fan on, even if it was below freezing outside. And I try my best to stay warm.
Yeah, I'm the guy who used to wear shorts all school year, even in the winter. I think freshman year I wore pants like once when it wasn't a Sunday, and that was when we had those few snow days due to the cold. So I wasn't the guy that got called to Dr. Arn's office, but I wish I was.